There are multiple modeling and simulation tools currently on the market, but only AVERT allows you to generate completely different simulations from a single model. Previously, modeling and simulation programs relied heavily on analysts to create entirely separate models to compare one variable to another. Using AVERT's unique simulation controller, you can now analyze hundreds of what-if scenarios using a single model of your facility. The results of these scenarios are automatically stored in a database, can be queried to produce customizable reports, and are available for export in HTML, PDF, or XLS formats. We will now show a walkthrough of AVERT's simulation controller. In the example, we will be answering a typical management question. What security officers are the most and least effective during adversary attacks from any direction for all of my target sets? With other simulation tools, or without AVERT's simulation controller, you would need to create a large number of individual scenario files, then run each one independently. Once that's complete, you would need to open and record data from each individual scenario file, then copy that data into a separate spreadsheet or report to properly view the aggregate data. After the data is all compiled, an analyst would review the results and produce a final report. This is a very time-consuming process and prone to human error. All of this time-consuming work can now be simplified into 4 quick steps using a single scenario file within AVERT's simulation controller. And with our accreditation from the Department of Defense, Department of Energy, and our Department of Homeland Security Safety Act certification, you can rest assured knowing the results of these reports are well vetted and accurate. Using AVERT's simulation controller, the first step is to use the Models tab to import a master model into the simulator. The second step is to create different configurations within the single model. The third step is to create a series of runs for the configurations, and the fourth step is to analyze the provided reports. This is the AVERT simulation controller interface, showing multiple imported models. In our example, we only need one model, which will be this demo facility. There are only 4 guards within this model. The amount of guards has been simplified for this example, but the tool is capable of analyzing any number of guards, adversaries, starting locations, and target sets. This yellow border in the model represents the AVERT pathfinding stage. In this stage, the AVERT software automatically analyzes the entire perimeter of this facility to find its weak points. For this example, we will simplify the border to contain 4 ideal starting locations for the adversaries, which are north, south, east, and west of the facility. We also have the option to configure the adversaries to go for multiple target sets utilizing different adaptive strategies such as avoid firepower, avoid detection, fastest path, or a combination of any of these variables. The second step is to use the Configurations tab to make different configurations from this single model. For our example, we're going to make 4 different configurations representing the 4 different weak points on the perimeter. But you can create as many configurations as you need to properly examine a facility. Now that the configurations are set, we can move on to step 3 and give each configuration a name and set a number of runs in the simulation controller. After the runs are set and launched, the results of the scenarios will be automatically inserted into a database. In the past, it was not possible to analyze aggregate results from multiple scenarios without first manually reviewing the individual scenario file, recording data, and then compiling the results from multiple scenarios into a final report. Now with the AVERT simulation controller, as each individual scenario or simulation is executed, real-time results for percentage of effectiveness, PE, are displayed while the simulations are running. Once all the simulations are completed, the combined results are automatically stored in a Microsoft SQL database. This process removes the potential for human error and allows you to generate any number of customized reports that can accurately display aggregate results from thousands of simulations with complete accuracy. AVERT comes out of the box with multiple report types for the simulation controller, but you can always create new reports to display the information you are interested in. For example, this is a guard neutralization report showing only one attack from the east. This report tells us the guard's effectiveness, number of adversaries neutralized, and how many times they were neutralized, as well as other information on effectiveness. Now, we're going to show a roll-up report of all the configurations, which in our example was only 4. AVERT has automatically taken all the results from hundreds of scenarios and put them into one summarized report that answers our question by sorting the guards by their effectiveness. When you'd like to present the report to management, you can easily export any of your reports into customizable HTML, PDF, or XLS-based files. Whether you manage the security of a small facility with a limited security profile or a large enterprise that must address all types of hazards, AVERT helps you make risk-informed decisions to better protect your critical assets from threats that suspend operations, increase cost, and compromise the well-being of personnel. With the introduction of the Simulation Controller, the AVERT software removes the potential for human error and allows you to generate any number of customized reports that can accurately display aggregate results from thousands of simulations with absolute accuracy.